What up? This is Jordan, and I just hit 600 subscribers. Let's go. Thank y'all so much. That's so sick. On the way to the top. Not really, but this is a gear video because I've had a couple people ask me just here and there over the years, last like 2 years or something, to do a gear video, and someone on Instagram asked just recently, and I was like, why not? Because I get all those tones, or whatever, the ones that I like. But yeah, so I'm just going to be taking you through some of the stuff that I like to play with and get the sounds from. So this is the main amp I use for most of my videos and the overdrives and stuff, and it's just a practice amp. It's a Marshall MG10 CD practice amp, and it's my favorite amp ever. I don't have that many, I'll show y'all in a bit, but this overdrive channel on here is freaking crazy. That's what I use for most of my videos, just clean through without using any other pedals. It has such a great tone and crunch mixed with the pickups on my guitars that it's what I mainly use to write stuff, and if I'm just playing whatever, it gets pretty freaking loud too. It's crazy. I'll put it to right here on the volume, and that's almost too loud. So I've never gone past maybe 10 o'clock or whatever. Yeah, well, that's that one. And then next to it I got this thing. This is a MG30 DFX. This is just a kind of shitty one I got from a thrift store. It's the same thing. It's kind of just a bigger practice amp, and the clean channel doesn't work, which is kind of whack. And this is the situation with the volume knob. It's kind of non-existent, but yeah, it's always stuck on overdrive, and the only video I've used it for is my song Keep It Moving. If you listen to that video, I use this guitar through this amp just with some pretty high gain and low volume, and it gives a cool little crunch. You can still tell it's but it's pretty fun. It's fun to use. It gets really loud as well, and it has some built-in effects. It has delay and reverb and chorus and a flanger, and that's pretty cool. So I use it sometimes. But moving on to my pedals, I don't have all of them here right now, but these are just the ones that I use mainly. Let me line them all up here. So here they are. This is my favorite one that I use. If I'm not using the overdrive on this channel, then I'll be using this. It's a Boss Super Overdrive SD1. This thing is just sick. It gives kind of a twangy, washy overdrive, but it can get some good crunch when you put this all the way up. And then I run this into this thing, which everyone knows. Everyone likes Nirvana, shout out. So when I first started playing, I got this and Electro Harmonix Polychorus. No, not a Polychorus, a small clone. Just the combo that he used, Kurt, and it was that was good enough. And this thing has a lot of good sounds you can get out of it, whether it's crazy ass distortion or just a little bit of drive. It's really cool. So these two together are a beast of a combo, and that's what I usually use, just to get a good little bit of crunch and then to make it scream. So that's cool. And then I got this pedal from a thrift store, this thing is crazy. It's a Boss pedal, PS3, and there's this little knob here. All these little things you sticking out the side, those are all different effects and pitch shifters, and the one I have it set on now is kind of a chorus setting, just with how I've set it up. But you can get crazy sounds out of this that make your guitar sound not like a guitar, and that's pretty fun to mess with. But that's pretty cool. I don't use it for much other than a chorus because my other chorus pedal broke. But here's this thing, just a looper pedal. That's pretty fun to mess around with and get some backing tracks sometimes. Really easy to use, real fun. This was one of my first overdrive pedals. It's a DOD-FX 69B grunge pedal. This thing is just way too loud, way too harsh on the scream it has. It's kind of funny what this says, loud or grunge, you crank this all the way, it just sounds like you're scraping forks on a plate, amplified into a fucking train horn. So that's cool. Here's another DOD pedal. This is a 70s just preamp pedal. This kind of boosts the tone of whatever guitar I'm using, just so if I want to kind of get the sound of the guitar to come through more than the effects, then I'll put this before everything in place of this. This is just a shitty tuner pedal that I have, but I'll put that there, and just to kind of get a better sound of what I like from my guitars. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And then this thing I got off of from Adventure Audio. They're not a company apparently anymore, which they just announced recently, but that's a bummer. But I had this, like, this was like a custom pedal. It was like back stock, and I had the dude put some cool colorful knobs on. But it's a Glacial Zenith 2. It has a boost on it, just to boost your guitar, and then a drive just to kind of put that on top of it. So it just gets really loud, and it's like a really nice fuzz pedal. It's an interesting sound. I thought it'd be a lot different than it actually was. But you know, I took a chance on it because one of my favorite artists used it, and or something similar, and I just wanted something like that. And it just looks so sick. Like, the dude really made this look cool, and he makes these all handmade, and just like the decals and stuff, and it's really light for a pedal. Like, I don't know, but it's a lot of fun to use. But those are all the pedals I usually use, and I'll move on to my guitars now. So this is like a, what is it? It's like a 87, 89 Japanese Fender Stratocaster, and I got this in a pawn shop for like $370 or something, and it's supposed to have a single coil right here, but someone, like, you can see how they like cut it out, made it homemade just to put a distortion humbucker in there. Not distortion. I think it's a DiMarzio super distortion, but I'm not too sure. I've never checked it out, but this thing just sounds so sick. The neck is like the perfect radius size. Like, it feels so natural, so good to play. And this neck pickup is one of my favorite sounds ever. And it's just a really good guitar, really cool sound. It has this cool floating bridge that I never really use because this takes a special wiggle stick that goes in it. But it's cool. It's got some fine tuners down here, and just a really cool guitar all around, and feels really good. It's one of my favorites. So that's what I use a lot. This is like a 70s Japanese Fender, what is it, jazz bass copy. It's a Memphis brand, which is cool, and it's just so sexy. I got this at a thrift store too, and just recently changed the pickups to some humbucking, I think they're like DiMarzio pickups, but yeah, it's just, you know, it's just a bass I use. It's got black neck binding. The black block inlays are like so sexy. Oh my god. And the maple fretboard, it's very cool. It gives me a good sound. And oh yeah, I have this amp too. It's an Acoustic B100 bass amp, and when I bought this off of Craigslist, I was like thinking it was a lot smaller because my friend had one that was a lot smaller, but I really like the sound of it. It was an Acoustic brand, and I got this one when I showed up. I didn't realize it was a B100. My friend had a B20, so this thing is just Mondo size, but it sounds sick. So, and next, this one y'all have probably seen in a lot of my videos. One of my favorites. This is my I think it's a 2019 American Professional Jazzmaster, and I've just kind of made it my own. Y'all know where the inspiration comes from, and I painted the pickups with some acrylic paint, and then these are just green block inlays from eBay that I put on here, and it's got the white neck binding, and this thing is just so sick. Like, the tones on it are very cool. This middle pickup position is one of my favorites. I've never had a Jazzmaster before. My first was the Jaguar offset, and I'll get to that. That has humbuckers in it, but these are just big single coils, and it just sounds really cool, and I love the color. I've always wanted a blue guitar, and this was perfect. I got it for a pretty good deal, and it's just my shit. So yeah, next, this is another kind of cheap guitar I had. I found at Guitar Center. It's a, what is it? It's a Squier Deluxe, I think, Stratocaster. And it's got the oversized headstock. It's Squier brand. The frets are really big, like they're like large frets or something, and there's a lot of space in between them, so it's like kind of a beginner guitar, but it has these cool Duncan hot rails in it, like in all three positions, and it was like $80 at Guitar Center, and it already had some stickers on it, but then I just kind of like went ham with it and put all these other stickers, just kind of make it my own, and it sounds really cool. This thing is crazy in terms of like getting like really heavy tones and kind of rock and roll vibes, you know. Like, this thing I always use, especially the bridge position. It's a lot of fun to use, so that one's fun. And then over here, my baby, this was my first Fender that I ever bought. It's I think a 98 Fender Jaguar Special, and it's just beautiful. It has two humbuckers, you know. This came with kind of like chrome knobs and a white pick guard, but I have a dice collection at home, and I just milled these out and made them the knobs just because I thought it was kind of sick, and changed the pick guard out and kind of made my own. This thing is really cool. It's short scale, so it feels good on your hands if you got kind of bigger hands or smaller hands. And I love it. It's, just offsets are my favorite, and this has been my go-to and my rock for ever since I got it, so it's a lot of fun to use. And next is this this is like a Gibson SG copy. It's just a clone. The brand is Ivy. I think it's a Korean brand. Ivy, IYV. It's kind of funny. This looks really cool. It's got like pearl up here. The tuners freaking suck on it. I gotta get some new ones. There's some freaking whatever Korean or something on there. And yeah, I just have always really wanted an SG, and I saw this one on Craigslist as well. I get a lot from Craigslist just because I like to get kind of beat up, kind of worn in already. And this one I saw, it was like $200, and I had to go for it because it had the vibrato down here, and I just find this so sexy. Like in older Gibson guitars, like when I see this on it, it's just so cool, and it's so fun to use with your playing because it's just always here, and you can flip it around, and get it out of the way if you want, and it's just really cool. These are both humbuckers here. I don't know what they are. What is the brand? It's like Destiny CNC. Like, yeah, I don't know, but that one's cool. It's a lot of fun to use. It's kind of the same as the Jaguar in terms of like just heavier tones. Like you can get some cool, if I want to play like some jazz or something, it works for that as well, because the really mellow pickups, especially in the neck, in the middle position pickups, but it's one of my favorites. So now my acoustics, which y'all see a lot of because I make a lot of acoustic videos, two I got, and I'll start with this one because y'all have seen this in a lot, but this is just a no-name classical guitar. Like, it's a Korean made again classical guitar I got for $10 at a thrift store. There's no stickers on it or anything, and it's like 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch scale guitar, so it's not a full size, and it just feels really good on my fingers. I kind of use this as my travel guitar, but I put all these stickers on it and very well worn it in. Like, this thing is kind of beat up, and it's just one of my favorites. Like, just the sound, and just, I call it the melody, just because I can pick it up and use it for whatever, just to kind of get song ideas out or take it out whenever I'm feeling some kind of way, and it really helps to get things out flowing. So this is my favorites. Feels very good to play, and just the feel of nylon strings is really cool. If you've never played one, like, I definitely recommend it, because it's a different experience playing it and a different sound, so you'll get different stuff that'll come out of it. But that's a really cool one. It's probably my top 3, top 1 or 2, 3, but yeah. And next, and I think finally, out of all these freaking guitars, this is a Kona acoustic guitar. I don't know what the make is. What is it? I don't know. I can't read that, and then the lighting kind of sucks. But this one I also got at a thrift store yet again. It's just a regular size acoustic. It just has a really good ring to it. I kind of played it while I was at the thrift store. There was 2 that came in, and it just sounds really good, and it feels good on my hands. And when I put like light strings on it like this, I don't really like heavier strings. It has a really bright twang to it, but just enough like depth in it because of the body to make it sound really good and full. So that's what I use for a lot of ideas, or just songs that I'll post on YouTube or covers or whatever else, because if I don't feel like using electric. But yeah, it's a really nice guitar. Feels very good to play. But yeah, that's about it. If you stuck around this long, thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I can't thank all y'all enough for how much support I've gotten just for doing this for fun. And this is just my passion, and making these songs and videos is just a lot of fun. So it's cool to find other people who like the same kind of music as I do and enjoy the things I create. And there's a lot more that's going to come out, and I'll be playing shows, I hope this year, and kind of getting the ball rolling with all my stuff. So stay tuned for that. But until then, peace, and enjoy the music. I don't know. Later.